Marcus Reeves had built the Reeves Grand Collection from nothing. 42 hotels, 12 countries, 5,000 employees, and a personal net worth north of $8 billion. Forbes called him the most private titan in hospitality. The world only ever saw him in perfect suits at ribbon cuttings or on the cover of industry magazines. Nobody had ever seen him in a $12 hoodie from Walmart, 3 days of stubble, and shoes held together with duct tape. That was exactly the point. Every December, Marcus disappeared for 72 hours. No security detail, no driver, no black Amex. Just a cheap prepaid phone, a backpack, and the clothes of a man who had lost everything. He called it the walk. He would check into one of his own properties as a broke, tired traveler and see what his empire really felt like when you had nothing. This year he chose the flagship, the Reeves Grand Chicago, a 72-story palace of marble and crystal on Michigan Avenue. He had opened it himself 10 years ago. Tonight he looked like he hadn't slept in a bed that long. He shuffled through the revolving doors at 11:47 p.m. on a bitter December night. Snow melted off his cracked boots and dripped onto the Italian marble. The lobby glowed gold. A 10-foot Christmas tree glittered with Swarovski ornaments. Guests in designer coats glided past. Marcus approached the front desk. The agent, a sharply dressed young man whose name tag read Jason, Guest Services, didn't look up from his monitor. Checking in, Jason asked without warmth. "I don't have a reservation," Marcus said, voice raspy from the cold. "I just need a room for the night. Anything." Jason finally glanced up. His eyes flicked over the dirty hoodie, the threadbare backpack, the trembling hands. "I'm sorry, sir. We're completely sold out." Marcus knew that wasn't true. He still received the live occupancy report on his phone every hour. The hotel was at 61% tonight. "I'll take anything. Couch in the lobby. I can pay cash." He pulled out a crumpled wad. For 20s, a 10, and someone's. $92. Jason's lip curled. "Sir, we don't accept cash deposits from walk-ins without ID and a major credit card on file. Hotel policy." Marcus reached slowly into his pocket and produced a driver's license that had expired 2 years ago. Jason barely looked at it. "I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We have an image to maintain." At that moment, a woman in a floor-length mink coat breezed past with 2 Louis Vuitton bags. Jason's entire demeanor flipped. "Mrs. Langford, welcome back. We have the presidential suite ready, as always." Marcus stood there, dripping. Another agent, a woman named Courtney, leaned over and whispered loudly enough for half the lobby to hear. "Call security before he scares the real guests." Marcus felt something tighten in his chest. Not anger yet, just data. He turned and walked toward the exit. As he did, he passed a bellhop he had personally promoted 5 years ago. The young man looked right through him. Security arrived in under 60 seconds. 2 large men in tailored suits. "Sir, you need to leave the property now." Marcus raised both hands. "I'm going." They escorted him past the revolving doors and into the freezing night. One of them muttered, "Try the shelter on Van Buren." The door closed behind him. Marcus stood on the sidewalk for a long moment. Snow stung his face. Then he pulled out the prepaid phone and pressed one button. "Send the car." 5 minutes. A matte black Maybach glided to the curb. The back door opened. Marcus slid inside, still dripping. "Home, sir?" the driver asked. "No. Take me to the service entrance. And tell legal I want every camera feed from the lobby for the last 30 minutes. 23 minutes later, the same revolving doors opened again. This time Marcus Reeves walked in wearing a midnight blue Brioni suit that cost more than most cars. A platinum watch glinted on his wrist. Behind him walked his general counsel, 2 board members, and 4 silent bodyguards. The entire lobby fell quiet. Jason's face went the color of printer paper. Marcus walked straight to the front desk and placed a single black card on the marble counter. "Jason, isn't it?" His voice carried without effort. Jason couldn't speak. "You're fired. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out the same way you just had me escorted." Courtney started to cry. Marcus raised a hand. Courtney, you still have a job. For now. You will be retrained starting tomorrow on what the word hospitality actually means. He turned to the growing crowd of guests who had begun filming on their phones. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marcus Reeves. I own this hotel. I own every hotel with my name on it. Tonight I was refused a room by my own staff because I looked poor. He let that sit. Tomorrow morning, every single employee, from housekeeping to the GM, will go through mandatory empathy training. Anyone who refuses will be terminated. Additionally, the Reeves Grand Collection is establishing a $10 million foundation tonight. Every year on December 20th, we will pay for 10,000 hotel nights for homeless families across America, because no one should ever be turned away when they have nowhere else to go. He looked directly at Jason, who was now being led away by security. I started with nothing. I slept in my car for 18 months to open my first motel. I know exactly what it feels like to stand in a lobby and be told you don't belong. Then Marcus did something no one expected. He walked over to the bellhop, who had ignored him earlier. The young man's eyes were wide with terror. Marcus extended his hand. You're Miguel, right? You have a little girl with leukemia. Miguel nodded, barely breathing. Starting January, her treatment is fully covered by the company, and your salary just tripled. Miguel dropped to his knees, sobbing. Marcus addressed the lobby again. This is not a PR stunt. This is who we are supposed to be. He turned to leave, then paused. One more thing. Mrs. Langford in the mink coat. She just donated $5 million to the new foundation on the spot. By the time Marcus reached the elevator, the video was already exploding across social media. Within an hour, hashtag Reeves Grand Moment was the #1 trending topic worldwide. By morning, the Reeves Grand Collection's stock jumped 14%. And somewhere in Chicago, a man who had once been turned away into the snow booked a room for a homeless veteran and his family on the house forever. Marcus Reeves never did the walk again. He didn't need to. The lesson had been learned by every single person wearing his name on their badge, and the world had watched it happen live. Some people said it was the greatest marketing move in hospitality history. Marcus just called it Tuesday. The end.